Well,
You know what I mean?
no, my kids turned out good, and hopefully my grandkids will do all right. I just got to keep an eye on the schools.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I mean, listen, I personally feel like private school compared to public school, even though you got to pay for it, especially out of your ass for it, I think it maybe not crazy education-wise, but I feel like it gives your child more of a respect. Like the place where I send my son, it's a lot of people's mothers that are teachers.
Okay.
Their kids go there. It's a close-knit family. It's a religious school, you know.
Right.
I'm not crazy religious, but it's a religious school. And I just feel like it's more of a close family type of feeling. So like when I go there and I see the other mothers or fathers that work there and they watch your children and they watch their children, everybody plays.
They look out for each other.
Exactly. And I feel comfortable. Like I can go to work knowing that there's somebody there that's actually watching my child correctly. You know? And then I remember even when I was in high school, you know, and then I see kids now that are in high school and the way they're treated. I mean, listen, even local over here, I know a janitor at a place, and he tells me, man, he's going into his janitorial closet, and there's like 10 to 13-year-olds having threesomes, blowing each other.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, do some crazy stuff. And I'm like, for real? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, that's fucked up, man. I was like, yeah, my kid's not going there, you know? And the funny thing is, my kid's 3, and I'm sending him to a local Brazilian jiu-jitsu place.
Okay.
All right, and we go together 2 nights a week, and we bond, right? The place is awesome. And I like it. I like it a lot. And he likes it, you know, and I feel as a boy, it's good because I want him to learn self-defense and just in case something happens. But I feel the jiu-jitsu, it's good for girls, I think. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you why. Yeah, if you're all about the kung fu, karate, and taekwondo and everything else, that's good, right? If you're on your feet and you can kick and punch and take them out, no problem. But the majority of, say, females can get taken down by a male. And whether they're going to get mugged, they're going to get, raped, molested type of thing. When you're on the ground and you know a technique to handle yourself on the ground, mm-hmm. I think that plays a big role. And especially a big guy thinking that he's going to take down a girl that doesn't know what they're doing, and all of a sudden he gets put in his place.
Well, I can tell you from experience and training, okay, most size differences go away when it's down on the ground.
Oh, big time.
You know, standing toe-to-toe can make a big difference. On the ground, not so much.
Nope, because you're all the same size on the ground.
I remember, and this is going back a ways, my daughter, who's older than my son, a little bit, they were both going to like a karate school years ago, because I thought it was good for both of them, the discipline, the whole shebang. And there was a little boy, a little bigger than my daughter, and he wasn't doing so well against my daughter.
I think you told me this story before a long time ago.
Okay, and it turns out that the kid's father came from a culture, I don't remember which one, doesn't even really matter, where his belief was women shouldn't even be doing this. Literally. He got offended.
And this was martial arts class.
Martial arts, that his son was being made to look foolish, I guess, by my daughter.
Okay.
So he started to tell me, about this, where he's from. And I ended up pulling him aside and saying, "Look, buddy, okay, listen up. You're in America.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you think my daughter is whipping your son's ass, keep that shit up. Watch what I do to you."
Yeah, see? Got to tell people,
right
man.
there,
put people in a place.
That was the end of it. He knocked it off. I think he took his kid out of the class.
Yeah.
Because they had girls in there. Yeah, that's his right. But don't come in here and try to say, don't come in here and try to tell me that my daughter can't be here. No.
My whole thing is this. If you want to do it, you should be able to try to do it. You know what I mean? If you do it and you can't, you really don't want to, then that's fine. It's your choice. But if you strive to do it, no matter if you're a boy or girl, whatever, do it. And if you like it, continue it.
I used to tell both my kids all the time, because, kids go through fads. They want to try this, they want to try that.
Yeah, I know. They try
sports, not. I tell both my kids, you could try and you could do whatever you want, okay? Anything, I'll support you, 100%. But if you make a commitment, like to a sport team, you're at least finishing out the season. You're not quitting.
Midway, yeah.
Midway.
Yeah, I know.
You're going to finish out that commitment. You don't want to come back next year, that's fine. But you're going to finish it out. So just think carefully. Do you want to start? Because you're going to at least do a season of it.
Yeah.
And they were pretty good with it.
Seasons aren't even that long, though. You know what I mean? If you can't handle a season.
Nah.
You know? Well, this is another thing why I want my son to... obviously, it's daddy son time, quality time with my son, and we get to do fun stuff. And like I said, the teacher's great with kids. He's awesome. He takes all the kids one by one. He teaches them, and then if there's a lot of kids there, then we all get on the mat, the parents, and then we fight with the kids, so to say, and we do the training. But if there's not a lot of kids there, he does one-on-one with each kid. So like last night we went, and there was 2 kids, my son and another kid, and I didn't have to get. I sat on the mat next to my kid just to make sure he's normal, stuff like that. It doesn't get crazy, and I didn't have to do nothing. Teacher did everything with both kids, and I was thinking that obviously, listen, you want your son or daughter to do good in sports and whatnot later on if they want to do something, and I'm like, maybe if he wants to get into wrestling, this martial art will help him out.
Couldn't hurt.
You know what I mean?
Couldn't hurt.
At least he'll have some technique in there, right? They won't know what hit him.
You know what I think is, I think one of the things that I see with kids nowadays is this mentality that everyone's a winner all the time at everything. Like I know when I was young, you wanted to be on a team, you had to have tryouts.
Listen, you had to really work
to make the team.
Exactly.
Okay? You weren't entitled to be on the team. You weren't entitled to anything except a shot like everybody else to make the team.
Oh, big time, big time. You know who actually portrays the entitlement today? Those Hollywood people that got their kids into fancy colleges.
Oh, yes.
Right?
yes.
That's something along the lines of what people have done for sports teams and whatnot.
We could talk about that for hours and hours.
Well, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, when it's time for my son to, if he wants, or even my daughter, to go into school and want to do a sport, I'm going to pull the coach, the teacher, whoever it is to the side, and I'm going to say, listen, if my kids don't come in first, second, or third, don't praise them. Don't give them shit. I said, you can tell them, hey, good effort, good for trying, but don't give them a fucking trophy for coming in last. Because I want my son to come home and I want him to feel and know what it's like to fail, because that's going to make him strive. If he's into it and he's about it, that's going to make him strive or her strive to do better next time, to win. Competition.
Concept is great. Absolutely fantastic. I don't think you're going to have much luck getting anybody to get on board in anything that's organized.
That's the problem.
Like a lot of that you're going to have to do on your own. I mean, your kids are still pretty young.
Little, yeah. So I tell them all the time.
You have time. You and your wife have time to do this.
Instill that into them.
Because that's where you got to do it. Because, believe me, as far as I'm concerned, and I would say this for anybody to hear, why this current president hasn't already undone some of the damage to our education system is beyond me.
Yeah.
Okay? Because everybody has got to know already, our children in this country, when I say our children, all of them, from kindergarten through college, are being brainwashed.
Big time.
Brainwashed. They're losing respect for their country, for their parents, for their community, you name it. They're losing respect for everything. They just want.
Well, even for the teachers. You see that one kid that threw the 90 or 70-year-old teacher around because he took off his hat or something? As a student in class, if I saw that happen, I probably would have taken that kid out. Back in the day, man, if that happened, you get your ass beat, man, for beating up old Mr. So-and-so. You know what I mean? Like, why would you do that to an old man? It drives me crazy. It drives me crazy how kids act these days.
The respect... I pretty much break it down into 2 things, okay? The lack of respect is partially what the job is they're doing in the schools, or I should say not doing in the schools, okay? And parents, young parents, who, out of guilt, don't say no. Okay?
But
Listen, I talk to a lot of people a lot of times about kids, okay? Because over the course of the years, I dealt with so many kid problems of all kinds and everything. Because my goal was to intervene as soon as possible, get the earliest involvement so you don't have to deal with me.
pretty much.
Because pretty much, if I got to take you out of your house, it's already bad. Okay?
Yeah, no, I hear
And
you.
I don't want that.
I hear you, man.
And you don't want that.
I say that all the time. Listen,
Okay.
if I have to go to the parents' house and talk to them direct, it's going to be bad.
But really, what is...
But here's-
Adversity builds character. I think that's one of those things I used to hear, like from
Okay.
my parents. It's like probably something that came out of my father's mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Adversity builds character. It's true. You don't learn to overcome if there's never an obstacle.
That's what I'm saying. The failure teaches you.
Absolutely.
You know, and here's another thing with other parents though, and I see this in a lot of Asian cultures. The kid could be a monster in reality, but the parents, in their eyes, they see an angel. I've seen it. Listen, I have a lot of friends growing up. I have a lot of Indian friends. I have a lot of Asian friends, China, Burmese, Pakistani, and everything like that. And I've hung out with these kids before. And listen, I've been crazy too. Don't think that old Venture over here wasn't crazy kid growing up. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I remember I used to get tickets a lot, right? Or speeding and stuff, going crazy. But if the kids did something wrong, the parents were blinded to it. Oh, not my son. Oh, not my daughter.
No, that's
You know what
horrible.
I mean?
That's horrible.
And it's like, yes.
That's the worst thing. That's the worst thing a parent can do.
Like I have some customers where kids were driving a Porsche Cayenne, and the car was towed in overnight. I get in the car. As soon as I open up the door, all I saw was bottles of Hennessy laying around. And I'm talking about this car smelled like a wino. The kid comes in the next day, right? Shot out. I'm like, man, what happened? What happened to the car? This car was destroyed.
Okay.
Right? They totaled this car out. There wasn't a rim left on the car, a tire, nothing. And what happened was, in a Porsche Cayenne, it's not that big if you know what the car is. I think there was maybe like 7 people in it, right? 7 people in this car, yeah. And
They were
all drinking.
They're cramped.
Cramped and drinking.
Yes.
And the driver, from what I gather, turned around and was taking a sip while they were going in New Jersey. They have the exit ramps or on ramps to get on the highways, and it was a little higher than the highway. And instead of going around the ramp, he went right off the ramp, and it had to be maybe like a 30-foot drop. Not that big, maybe like a 20-foot drop. Destroyed the car. 2 people did get hurt, but not as bad as you would think. They didn't go to hospital or nothing like that. Nobody went to the hospital. And I was amazed that this kid didn't get arrested. And a week later, father comes in, talks to me. Oh, my son crashed the car, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't know a goddamn thing that happened.
Right.
And what does the kid show up with 2 days later?
Brand new car.
Brand spanking new BMW M3.
Could have told you.
You know what I mean? And here I am, man, all right, driving my 93 Jeep Wrangler at the time. I'm like, Jesus Christ.